Before I get into my rant, I have to let you all know I have no add-ons whatsoever. I've never had any add-ons. I have no idea what an ACT even is. What is that? A fucking standardized test? Is that a disease? Is that something I should know about? Well, either way, I don't fucking have any clue. Sunchild June, is that a monitor you're using right now? Sounds kind of third-party to me. Fuck, they're right. I have a third-party tool I'm using right now. Shit, report me. I deserve it. Xeno's already went into how the wording of their announcement was sort of super-duper vague. And it's understandable why it's vague. It would take them forever to sit down and list everything that they approve and everything that they don't approve. Plus, it's a problem for them if they approve something in general, right? They can't just come out and say, yeah, I don't give a fuck if you parse DPS. I don't care. Go ahead, use ACT. It's an approved tool. They can't just do that. Here's the thing. For me, what really grinds my gears, the person that they banned, that they made an example out of, right? They banned him in the middle of his DSR prog, didn't they? Here's the thing about that. That's just horrible. That's just horrible, because as far as I know, his violation was, he had an add-on that was visible on his stream, and somebody reported him for it. And so the Final Fantasy XIV response was not simply to say, oh, we're currently investigating these things. We're investigating, you know? We didn't have to take someone out of the middle of their prog. And you know this is the type of person who not only is invested in your game, but helps other people become invested in your game as well, because they're a big streamer, right? So you're out here just handing out a 10-day ban while they were on stream. For someone who is a hardcore raider, clearly cares about your game, cares about sharing it with other people, and your response was not, I should wait a month and I can give like an obligatory like 3-day suspension just to sure people know we're still enforcing the rules. They could have done that. Instead, they chose to immediately suspend for 10 days. I just don't understand why they chose this timing. And the people, yeah, that's another thing, Dark Archer. The people mass reporting. Why are we not talking about how that itself is possibly more toxic than anything I've seen any elite, hardcore, parsing, whatever the heck kind of raider doing? Mass reporting someone just because you saw an add-on on their stream is far worse than someone subtly implying that your DPS is bad. Yeah, no, I also don't think streamers should get special treatment. However, it's a little bit like it's the opposite. Because for a regular person, they're never gonna have their screen shown, like in a public setting, right? So it's the people who are never gonna have their mods visible to anyone else that are never gonna get reported. So it's really streamers who will suffer the most from this sort of thing. And I get it if people care less about that because, oh, it's a streamer, it could never happen to me. That's fine, I get it. Before I became a streamer, I probably would have thought the same way. But for me, it's just the sort of principle of the matter that we have a community that bands together not to do nice things, but to mass report streamers because they're checking their own DPS and you can see it on the screen. That's something that the devs have indirectly supported with this move. I understand, and I don't wanna pretend that I know everything that goes on like in the decision making, because obviously I'm not a game dev, right? I can't know. It's out of my reach. But I feel like the proper response to these reports was to do nothing. Because how are you gonna suspend a guy and then put a message in your announcement that you're interested having your own UI additions that are inspired from these mods that people are using? So you're fine with stealing their idea. You're fine with taking their idea. You're not fine with people using it in the meantime while you don't have that implemented in your game. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't get it. Once again, I feel like there are some people in the creator sphere who are having opinions just to have opinions, and we seem kind of split. I don't know. I'd say like 60% of people don't like this new ToS hammer dropping, I suppose, and then 40% are defending it. I just want to put my own 2 cents out there. Not for clout purposes, but because I actually care about this sort of thing. I don't feel like this is something we should be encouraging. I don't think that people who parse are nearly as toxic as people make them out to be. And I say that as someone who started this game. I started in 2015, and this was when I was playing on the PS3, PS4. I couldn't parse, obviously. I couldn't even know my own damage. I have never been griefed over my damage. No one has even mentioned my damage to me. The worst thing that I've ever heard was someone saying our damage is not high enough to clear XYZ trial, and then that person leaving. Which honestly, is that supposed to hurt me? It doesn't target me. It doesn't doesn't single me out. I've never heard anything that was targeted at me or even other people. I can say whatever I think. I can have my own opinion. I can say I've never been griefed by anyone over my damage and that I'm serious. It's not because I'm just so good at the game or anything, because I'm not. It's because people don't do that in this game. You're lucky if anyone types in chat at all. Ultimately, Yoshi gonna do what Yoshi does, what Yoshi wants. All I can do is sit here and disagree and say to myself, this is encouraging bad behavior from the community. It's not as if the person was griefing anyone on his stream, was it? It just feels completely unnecessary. Never had anyone attack anyone for damage, but had a couple of tanks fall to their anxiety and lash out to others. Yeah, it's usually things that are completely independent of third-party tools that cause toxicity in this video game. I understand the situation, and while I get it, I get why they come out and they say we don't allow third-party tools, because that means they never have to like design an encounter with those in mind, right? What I don't understand is why they're taking action in such a visible and I suppose aggressive way against people who are actually helping their game in the long run. And also, I was going to say, I feel that add-ons add a new layer to the game that give it replayability and more fun. Just hypothetically, right? Because I've never done this before. If I were able to see my damage, right? And I was leveling my job and I noticed over time myself improving on that number due to changing my rotation. Theoretically speaking, I would feel a lot more confident in my gameplay. I would feel myself improving. I would feel more satisfied. This is to say nothing about other types of add-ons such as visual add-ons, which yet again also do nothing to people who are playing the game and have nothing to do with toxicity. I think the biggest issue to come from this is the amount of toxicity and sheer meltdown the community has faced. Their attempt of making a stronger, united community has resulted in arguably what will become its biggest split point. Yeah, Radgrave Tony, I'm shocked by how much this has like blown up the community. Like how much people are talking about this right now. I just saw everyone discussing it and I was like, shit. I was thinking people would just ignore this for the most part or be like, stupid streamer. I'm really surprised that this became as big of an issue as it became. Just for what it's worth, I am on the side of people who are in favor of kind of just leaving third-party tools alone. Just doing your best not to acknowledge them, not to worry about them. There's no way people are gonna stop using third-party tools, right? There's no way. And Final Fantasy XIV knows that. It's basically just a point where if a streamer slips up and something shows on the screen because they forgot to turn something off for a stream, or they had something in a YouTube video and their username got leaked, something along those lines, people need to be super careful because we have a community that is just happy to go completely trigger happy and just report happy. I don't like that. I don't like that vibe. So I am hoping that this blows over really soon and that they don't take this much further than they already have.
Spending Square going after streamers using UI add-ons are people who have #gposer in their Twitter profile and use RP mods. Great community hypocrisy. It's a power trip, plain and simple.
Hey, yo, listen, my add-ons are fine. See, that's the perspective. My add-ons are okay. I have a Fuda add-on, but you have an add-on that tells you what your number is in the game, and that's worse. Add-on for me? Not for thee. Why is it necessary to use anti-ToS third-party stuff to have hats as Vieira Hrothgar? The winner for me! You said it! I wasn't gonna go there, but you came out and you said it! Thank you. Thank you for being the voice for me. Here's the fucking thing. We have been waiting for 2 years. If not, no. Has it been longer? Has it been longer at this point? 2-3 years in the middle of that somewhere? Over 90% of the hats in this game are not wearable by 2 races and 3 genders. Obviously, female Hrothgar are not going to be able to wear hats either. Like, that's a given. And not only that, but your hairstyles for the Hrothgar, the new Hrothgar hairstyles, that was insulting. That was borderline insulting. I saw them and I thought to myself, yep, looks bad, but I guess Hrothgars are used to it. But then I went to the official forums and people were super fucking mad-y. And I'm like, as you should be.
Expanding on